guys want to start, please
I,
do.
yeah,
And I am gonna get inside, so hopefully it doesn't cut off on us.
for sure. I can go ahead and start. And you know what's so funny is that I actually just started living the life that I want to live more recently. I also went to the park today, had a nice little trail hike, and then went to the bookstore. And these are real things. Like this really can be accomplished. I choose the hours that I work. I've been going to the beach a couple times a week, having fun, enjoying my life, right? And I'm really starting to just love life. You know, it doesn't have to be hard. But I'll go ahead and really just get into the message. So, yesterday, we're talking to the kids, and yesterday I spoke about how, you have options. So I know where I grew up, me and my friends and whoever really made it, it's you have to be an athlete and or you have to be a scholar. And even though I was a scholar, there was just certain things that, I wasn't really sure if I really wanted to go about, those routes or whatever. I ended up working my way up in corporate, and I just realized that wasn't the life for me because guess what? Your boss isn't never going to be able to pay you to live next door. And some of us are going to want more. Some of us are going to strive to want more. And I just remember being young, and I look back at my some of the papers that my parents kept, and literally from a young age, I think the youngest thing I have is from first grade. And I said, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to make a lot of money. And that was always my thing. I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to make a lot of money. I come from immigrants, right? So I come from grandparents who immigrated to the States because this was their best option. So I always felt like I didn't really have a choice but to make it out. And so as I grew up, uh, in high school, early high school, my freshman year, our house got foreclosed. And I remember coming up on that in middle school where I started having to lie to my friends. Well, I guess I didn't have to lie to my friends, but I felt like I had to lie to my friends because I couldn't afford to do the things that they were doing. I couldn't afford to do a lot of the things. So I'd say, oh, my parents said no. My phone would be off. We wouldn't have internet sometimes, like little things. Food was scarce, very, very scarce, there's times when I would come home and there would be no lights. Like, these are real things, and these are some things that some of you kids might have dealt with, some of you kids might deal with in the future. I don't really know, but you have to know that these aren't end all situations, and life doesn't have to be that way. You can actually choose to change the way your life is, and you can actually create a life of abundance, a life of wealth. And I'm going to take a little turn on this conversation from the one I had yesterday, because one of the biggest game changers for me that truly, truly changed my life was law of attraction. And so I want any of you children who are listening today, and let me just reiterate today, if you guys have any kids, please bring your kids on this live today. Invite the kids to this live. And you know what? I forgot to invite people on this live, so give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and invite people to this live because this is really important, man. All right, done. Because I like to not just say things. I like to actually walk how I talk. So I went ahead and invited people, right? So listen, if you have any kids on this live, and let's say you don't have any kids with you and you're just tapped in, I need you to listen to this message too. One of the biggest game changers in my life that changed the trajectory in my life was law of attraction. And I remember my older sister taught me about it. And hey, good, Micah. The first thing I did was watch The Secret, and you can watch it on Netflix, And it was really a game changer because you have a lot of these people talking about a life that you can create, a life that you can choose, mapping out your life and manifestation. And now I'm here years later, and obviously, it gets real deep when you really, really start to tap into these things of law of attraction and creating your future and manifesting things that are manifesting abundance. It does get deeper than the surface level of that movie, and sometimes the surface level of the introduction. But if you haven't yet tapped into that, it's important that you tap into it now, because you need to get that surface level before you can go ahead and advance and elevate, because there are certain principles and certain things of life, and that's just how it works. That's just how it works. There's laws of the world. Just like in school, we learn about Newton's laws, and I'm sure there's all different kinds of ages on here. But listen, parents, Teach your kids about law of attraction. Teach your kids that they can get whatever they want. And, remember to be a guide. Remember to, like I just said, I like to go ahead and be the leader. I like to go ahead and walk how I talk. So I just ask you guys to share. So I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do. And the same thing goes for my kid. I'm not going to ask her to do anything that I'm not willing to do or that I have not done. And these are things that are important, because some of us go ahead and some parents go ahead and it's like, do as I say, not as I do. But they're not understanding that. Then they're just going to grow up and say, well, I want to do what mommy did, or I want to do what daddy did, or whatever, or whoever. And you really have to understand that they want to do the things that you're doing. You are their hero most of the time in the story. And you obviously don't want to be the villain. You are their hero. So you really, really, really have to pay attention to the actions you're doing. I talked about this yesterday. I let my child be around me when I'm on calls. I let my child be around me when I'm in meetings. Sometimes she'll pop her head and I'll be like, I'm sorry, that's my daughter or whatever. But like, guess what? It's fine, because all she's hearing is knowledge and she's picking it up at a young age. And you kids, you guys can do the same thing. You can tap your kids into things so early that it just changes their life, and they get to experience things that we never got to do at a young age. So any kids on here, I do recommend, if you haven't heard about it, if your parents haven't put you on it yet, look into law of attraction. That can just start the trajectory of your life. Read books, read personal growth books, read business books, read books that your parents might not have knowledge on. Explore things. I got the blessing of exploring things from the schools I went to, and from being a scholar student I got to learn the violin at a young age. I played sports. I got to really explore my options and see who I wanted to be and what I want to become. A lot of kids won't get this option. So, try to explore as much as you can. You have an internet that I didn't have, and that some older people definitely didn't have. You have an internet that can teach you a lot of things. You utilize the internet in a very important way. Know that the internet can bring you to wealth. Don't just be on here watching dance videos unless you want to be a dancer. Don't just be on here watching comedy videos unless you're trying to be a comedian. Do something useful with it. If you like to write, look up, how to become a better writer. If you want to go into business, or you have that mindset of going into business, look up business things at a young age. There's podcasts, there's social proof podcasts that you can look up. Gary Vee. There's so many things that you can be tapped into now at a young age, where you can start actually doing things and implementing them at a younger age. And oftentimes, and I think Tamika mentioned this yesterday, oftentimes we kind of start showing things of what we might become at a young age. A lot of us started selling something young. I remember in first grade, I would sell drawings, and now look at me. I'm a graphic designer, which is just crazy, mind blowing. Me and my best friend, we would sell tracings of things. I'm a graphic designer, and she's a tattoo artist. Who would have known? So, like, pay attention to the things that you're doing young. Take that and run with it. Learn more. Get that education. Your education is going to be number one. It doesn't matter what it's in. It might not necessarily be in the reading or in the math or the things that they're teaching you in school. So you need to take the time out to get books outside of school, because it's the books outside of school that are actually going to teach you the things that you need to know. Those books that you get outside of school are actually going to give higher knowledge. They say there's secrets in books. I really like to be tapped into things that elite people are speaking of. I like to be tapped into disciplines. You can start training yourself at a young age. No matter how young you are, you can start training yourself to wake up early, to read. I make sure my child reads books. Like, these are real things that they need to start getting used to and having habits of now. Because when they're older, they don't have to force it upon themselves. It's already going to be like embedded in them, embedded in their skin. And if you're a parent, you should try to do your best to obviously, we all want our kids to be better than us. And you should want. And if not, then you need to learn how to lose the ego. And I'm just going to be real right now. Some parents need to learn how to lose the ego. Your kid is not going to live out your fantasy. Let them live their dreams, and teach them how to be better than you ever were, and give them the opportunity to do that and be themselves, right? And so these are all things that we need to think about, making sure that they have these daily routines, understanding that they need to have a good group of friends, and not necessarily saying, hey, I don't want you hanging out with that girl, but explaining why. and explaining, but you know what, you should look for friends that have these qualities because this is what's going to help you get there, and not just telling them what to do, but explaining them why they shouldn't probably do these things, and say, hey, but you know what, if you do continue to hang out with that girl, you might notice that your life might go down a certain path, and these are the things that you have to deal with. You know what I mean? Because we cannot force our kids to do anything that, you know, we can't just force them to do anything in real life. You know, they're going to grow up, they're going to be their own person, they're going to make their own choices. Our job is just to guide them to go ahead and try to make the best choices. We can't force them to do anything, right? These are things that we all have to think about. So I just want to say this, you know, my message is always about believing in your hustle. If you're young, that's going to be the most important thing you're going to do. There's going to be people that come on your path that tell you you can't make it, especially if you're colored, especially if you're a minority. They're going to tell you that you're not going to make it, that you'll never be able to do certain things, whatever it is. There's going to be people on your path that try to get in the way. There's going to be people on their path that are envious, that are jealous. No matter how hard you're shining, you can be a scholar, you can be the best athlete in the world. There's going to be people on your path that say you suck, that you're not going to make it nowhere because such and such and such and such and such. Don't let that deteriorate you. Keep going no matter what, and keep believing in yourself despite any noise that comes on your way, because that's what's going to let you break through. And if I'm being honest, at this young age, or at a young age, if you are at a young age, I would say anywhere K through even college, even early adolescent, 9 times out of 10, the people around you really, really don't even matter. If you can find a way to just love yourself so much that you don't care what you're doing, that you're not embarrassed, that you can just keep moving despite what anyone else says, you're already going to be on a better path than anybody else that you come across. You'll be able to go ahead and take that belief and make all of your dreams come true. This is real things. Look at, just like Tamika said, she lives the life that she wants. She lives a life of abundance. She goes to the beach. She enjoys her life. And guess what? She's doing what she loves, and she's smiling and she's happy, right? And this is real genuine. When you meet her in real life, these are real things that you see. I'm just now starting to be able to live the life that I want. I don't have to answer to a boss. I don't have to sit at a desk at 9 a.m., or, sit at a desk from 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 or whatever. No, I choose my hours. I don't have to live the life that my parents lived. I don't have to struggle, and neither do you. And if your parents are struggling, you don't have to go through that route. Guess what? You can get a job at a young age. You can get a job I would say, try to enjoy your youth, but at the same time, take advantage of your youth, because this is the time you have where if your parents are doing their job, you should be able to have a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of freedom. Right now, summer is the time for growth. Use summer to growth. Use the extra time you have to tap into the things that you can. So if you can get a job, learn about financial freedom early, start investing early. These are things that I wish I would have done. And I'm telling you, the only thing I ever wish that I would have done differently, but I don't regret because I have no regrets, is that I wish I would have started earlier. I wish I would have started earlier, because I could be living the life that I want, that I'm doing now. I could have been living that like 5-10 years ago. And that's what I want for you. So start as soon as you can. Tap into these laws of attraction, these laws of wealth. Tap into what the Ely are doing if you want to do these things. You'll be able to do it at a younger and a faster rate. That's why we're finding millionaires that are like 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, this is real life. This isn't fake. This isn't nonsense. This isn't don't let the internet say that, oh, Illuminati, people that are rich are doing evil. They're not. There's really rich, nice people, genuine people that are just out here doing amazing things, making really great money, and creating generational wealth for themselves, for their family, for their children, and they don't have to suffer no more. They don't have to be owned. They're buying back their freedom. Kids, this is real. You have the opportunity to buy back your freedom. You have the opportunity to do things that you never could have imagined, to travel, to eat better, to live in better neighborhoods, to be surrounded by a better community where you're not worried about your peers getting killed or any of that, because there's so much trauma that happens in the lives. Like, you don't have to be surrounded by that. There's a life that's better than a lot of what we have to live through, or what we've had to live through. And even if you're even if you've gone through those things, or if you're going through those things right now, or if you happen to end up in a situation where you're dealing with those things, know that there's always a way out, that there's always a better life on the other side, that there's that law of polarity, that whatever you go through, you can also get the opposite end of that. That's so much better than whatever trauma you had to deal with and whatever life struggles you had to deal with. So just continue to believe in your hustle, follow anything that's positive, and really, 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 really just push your way to the top, because you can do it. Listen, I could just come on here and teach you so many things, but the internet can teach you that. You guys are young kids, and 19 and young, whatever, adolescent, you guys are young. You're younger than me. So you're young, right? You guys know how to use the internet. Take that and use it, and use it for what you need to learn. Invest in the things that you want to learn, and know that you can make it to the top for real, for real. This ain't no lie. This ain't BS. This ain't gimmick. It's real. As long as you go ahead and tap into something that means a lot to you, you can have it all. And I want everyone to come up. Every time I'm talking to somebody younger than me, I say, I want you to become a millionaire before me. And you should. I say this all the time to some of these young kids. Like, you guys really should. So, listen, I don't really have too much to say. If you can just take some of those nuggets, your life really might change. Law of attraction is a big one. There's another tape. It's called Your Wish is Your Command. If you never heard of it, listen to it. It's like an hour each, and there's about 12 tapes. I shouldn't even probably be saying that on here, but I'm going to say it anyways. That changed my life. Your wish is your command. Listen to it. Start changing your life now. Do the habits that it takes to get you where you want to go, and you got it. And have a better life than me, man. That's all. I'm Jack the God. I own a design agency. I have a clothing brand called My Hustle Has Purpose, inspiring everyone to go ahead and believe in their hustle, because that's all we need is that belief. And, you can always tap in with me. You can always ask me some questions. I'm here to help.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Jack. That was Jack the God. Make sure that you give a quick follow at the top, click the arrow at the top. So you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon, and we decided to dedicate this segment to the kids. So if you have children that are around you, please grab them and bring them on over to listen to what we're talking about. The premise behind the Masterclass Marathon is that we come here every Saturday and Sunday. On Saturdays it's 12 o'clock and Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we share a message about our businesses. So we're teaching you a lesson for 13 minutes. So today we're still doing the same thing, but we're just interjecting some of our stories and some of the information that we know that children need to hear. So we're giving info as well as just creating some impact today. Now, even if you're not a child, the things that we're talking about are creating impact regardless, because these things are the things that need to be done, whether it's about the business strictly or about our stories and how we got to where we are. But that's what we're doing today. So please share this live out with at least 5 to 10 people. If you feel like doing 10, hit 10 people and tell them to come on in here and listen to what we're sharing. So next up is Camicia, and she is going to the Course Creator Experience. She's going to, do her thing. So she has 13 minutes on the clock, and then she has 2 minutes to tell us where we can find her, what she does, and what her offer is for today. All right, so share this live out, and Camicia, you now have the floor, and I have your timer up, and welcome back.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Camicia, your course creation and membership strategist. And today I just want to I'm talking to the parents, but I'm also talking to the kids, right? Because I want, when I was a student, right? When I was in high school, you know how you have, what is the day when all the people, the nurses, the doctors, the lawyers show up? Career day, right? They come to school, but you see the same careers, the doctors, the nurses, the teachers, right? And I remember when I got out of high school and I went and I worked for the state. It was like my first job. And I worked in a department called epidemiology. I had never even heard of that word before I graduated high school. Right? Never heard of that word in my whole entire life. And then I go into a job and realize that I had been cheated. Like there was an entire world of knowledge that I had no idea about, right? Because nobody ever told me about it. I had no reason to go and investigate it because I didn't even know it existed, right? And so what that did was it made me want to know more, like, right? Like I wanted to know what else didn't I know about? And why didn't the epidemiologist come to my school? Why didn't somebody tell me about these jobs? Why is it the same careers at career day every single time, right? I didn't want to be any of those things. None of the things that ever came to school did I ever want to be. But I may have put forth a little more effort had I known, you know, about some of the other careers out here that existed, and especially some of the entrepreneurship opportunities, right? I didn't see an entrepreneur come to my career day either, ever, right? And so, you know, for me, that really upset me, right? I literally went to my counselor at one point. I called my counselor back. Oh, that's how upset I was. And I was like, what were you doing? Because your job was to expose me to things. And all you did was let me sit in your office and talk. Like, you never really did anything. What were you doing, counselor man? Right? And and I just wanted him to know, you need to do better for the next class, because this doesn't make any sense. So with that, what I'm saying is there is a world of opportunity right here, out here, available for each and every one of us, and everything isn't going to be brought before you. So what I want to encourage you to do is, if you have any type of interests, abilities, any things that you're good at, I want you to continue to do those things. You know, there are some of us who talked a lot in school, right? And they would always say, oh, Camicia, you know, she's very smart, she finishes all of her work and then she talks and disturbs everybody else. Well, no, really, I was helping them, right? But yeah, I talked a lot. They needed help. And what do I do for a living? I help people. So, you know, I never got in trouble for that, right? Nobody ever said, you know, what the teacher said, stop talking. But my mom never said stop talking, because my work was fine. So she never told me to stop talking. She always told me that no matter what you do in life, you're going to be doing it for a very long time. So you need to pick and select something that you truly enjoy doing. Right. So I want you now, at no matter your age, right, whether you're 65 or whether you're 15, to think about, imagine yourself doing something simply for the next 5 years. Can you see yourself doing something every single day for the next 5 years? Something that you'll get up and enjoy doing, something that you like to do, right? Something that's going to make you happy doing it. And if it's something that you do for other people, something that you're truly going to like doing. Because otherwise, the fun of it, when the fun is removed from what you're doing, when you don't have a passion for it, it truly becomes a job, right? And it sucks the life out of you, right? It becomes draining. It's not fun anymore. And you start to realize that you don't want to do this for the next, you know, 5 years or so. So, you know, if you're somebody like, I was creative, right? I used to draw. So my mom always tried to push me towards the drawing, right? But I had this thing about only doing what I want to do. It's been in me my whole life. I only do what I want to do. And I can do lots of things. And so when people try to make me do something, I lose interest in it. It has to be something that I choose to do. If it becomes an expectation, then I no longer want to do it, right? Weird. Um, but that's what it is. So I want you to find those things, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing. And then I want to encourage something too that people have never done, right? I'm a course creator. I teach people how to create courses. And parents, your children can create courses. You and your children can create courses. How about that for a summer project, right? So this is something that I didn't see anybody saying or doing this as I was coming up in school, right? But if you have a child that dances, they like TikTok, they like Instagram, they like to make videos, then encourage them to make a video teaching dances or explaining how they do something, right? Because they can actually make money from that. When I was in school, I sold candy. You weren't supposed to do that, but I did it because your girl always needed to make her own money, right? I had a book bag full of not books, but blow pops and everything else that people wanted, and I sold it all day long at school. At school, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. And so it's important that we follow the rules. So I should not have been doing that, guys. So don't break rules at school and do things you shouldn't be doing. But figure out other ways to do things that you enjoy, and actually that you can get, yes, drinks, all of it, chips, like whole candy lady in my book bag. But um anything, I want you to guys to think about creating a course, right? If they are good with writing, then if they're like a good scholar in math, right, and they tutor people, they're good at a specific type of math, algebra, or all of that stuff. Math was not my thing. I can write, but I do not do math. So if you have somebody who is good at math, like your child is good at that, encourage that and let them teach a course and create a course and show them how they can take that course. Show them how to market that course. Show them how to tell the students that are interested in getting help from them how they can take this course versus having your child sitting with that student one-to-one, right? And show them how many more people they can reach from the course. Show them how they can go to sleep and wake up to courses being sold, right? Children need to know, and adults need to know, that things like this are possible. Like going to sleep and waking up and having more money than you went to sleep with, that's magical. And I love it. And I think it's important that you show your children that that is something that they can actually do. Show them that it doesn't cost a lot of money to create a course. Show them that it's something that they can do with the knowledge that they currently have, right? They don't have to go out and learn anything new. That it doesn't have to be as stressful, right? Whatever it is that they do well, I want you to feed into that and help them to take that and turn that into a course, so that when they go back to school, they have something that they can now utilize to make money on throughout the entire year and years to come, right? They can sell it to their friends. They might sell it to their teacher, because they had teachers like mine. The teachers might need a little help, okay? So they can sell it to they can sell it to, lots of people, and they can reach a larger scale. I just want to bring that to your attention, because that's not something that I thought about. That wasn't an opportunity that was shared with me amongst the many other opportunities I discovered were out here, right? To be honest, I didn't have to study hard. I didn't have to try hard, because things came to me easily. I could look at something, take a test, and ace it because I just saw it. Like, I remember it like that, right? Now, I might not know it tomorrow, but I'm going to know it for this test. And so that's how I learned how to do things. I just crammed and did stuff at the last minute, and it worked. And that's how I went through school the whole time. And I didn't put forth any effort. But had I known about some of the other careers and some of the other opportunities, I might have tried a little harder, right? I may have given it a little more. But because nobody challenged me, because nobody showed me this other world and the other things that I can do, had I known what math can do and what financial literacy can do, I may have paid attention to math. I may have tried a little harder. But I had already told myself, I'm not going to need to learn how to do that. I don't plan to be an architect. That was my whole thing, right? Like, I don't need to know all that kind of math. And so had somebody sat with me and explained to me that math is needed for more than these things in this job, right? Math is used in everything. But I didn't know that. So I want you guys to help, to encourage your students, your children. If you are a child, I want you to encourage your friends. Right? If you have a friend who is maybe a little bit quirky, a little bit different, they have a different type of smartness or a different type of, something that they shine in, something that they do well, encourage them in that. Encourage them to do that, even if it's not cool, even if it's not what other people are doing, right? I want you to encourage them to do that. And again, you can make a course from anything. So no matter what your children are good at, or even if it's something that they're not good at, challenge them. Get them to make a course out of it. They're going to learn while they're doing it. Okay. Sometimes you got to be smart and bring it to them in a different way to keep them engaged. But start to think about different ways to challenge your children, to educate your children, to expose your children to opportunities that maybe we didn't have, so that they know what's out here. put them in front, like they like to be on their phones, right? They like to be doing all these things, but start to, you know, pull them away from some of the games and put them into things like this. Put them into master classes, share with them different books, show them different things out here and different people that look like them that are doing different things and making paths for themselves so that they can see that there is opportunity. No, it doesn't mean that you don't need school. It doesn't mean, you know, that you should quit school or that you shouldn't. But it does mean that even if you're not great at it and if that doesn't work out, you do have other opportunities, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have to work a 9 to 5 or you shouldn't work a 9 to 5. I have a job and I have businesses, plural, right? And they make money. So yes, I go to a 9 to 5, but guess what? It's the one I chose. It's the one I like. And when I don't like it, I'll leave it because I have businesses and they make me money. Right? So it's important that you know that there are options. And as long as you keep those options open and as long as you have something that you have created for yourself that you can utilize to sustain you on your own, I think it's important to start that as young as possible so that once that is done, you can choose to go to work or you can choose to go to the beach or you can choose to do both, right? Why choose? Why not do it all? So, you know, that's just my encouragement for the day. I want to see these courses. I want your kids for this summer, have them make a course and make it fun, y'all. It's videos, it's camera, it's cell phones, all the things that they enjoy. Let them do those things and turn that into something profitable. Okay, so that's really all I have to share for today. If anybody has any questions or concerns about how to make a course, I have a mini course on how to design a course. That would be something great that you could utilize for your child. It'll walk you and them step by step through designing a course. Is very simplified because I don't do fluff and BS and waste of time. So it's very, very simple. And it's something that you all can do together and they can see in the end like a true, they'll feel like they've accomplished something, right? So that's my share for today. Again, I am Camicia and best of luck to everybody and everything that you choose to do.
All right,
That's it.
you have your time. You don't lose your time. Please tell us where people can find you. You already told us what you do, but do you have anything to offer today? So
no, they can just get that mini course if they so choose to get that. That's about all I am sharing today. The mini course is available online. Click the link in my bio and you can purchase that course and design that video, that training. So it's a course, but it's a training so that you can go in and you can design your course with your child for the summer and you can make that an event and something that you guys do together.
Okay,
And that's all.
awesome. All right. So thank you, Camicia. And I love that you spoke about making it a project with your children for the summer. I think that was beautiful. That was like genius because the course creation thing is something that parents, if you do need help, find the people. There's two of us here who can help you, and you get the information and you carry it on to your child. And I love that she said to make it a project because it's something that you can do with them to lift them up and also help them to make money, keep them out of the streets, keep them, just busy and literally like feeling proud about something that they have accomplished. Okay. And I love how you also said something about something simple as if the child knows how to dance. I think that we're making these things a little too hard in our brains. Like we're going too far. We're overthinking it. It's all about what do you know how to do? What can you use that you can take and drop into a course to be able to make some money? So Kamisi, that was just genius that you said that. And I just had to reiterate that. So thank you for sharing that today. So make sure you guys give her a quick follow. The arrow is at the top to give her a follow, to connect with her. If you want to jump into the mini course that she told you about, make sure you do so. Jack, the guide is down at the bottom. Make sure you give her a follow. And Tamara just joined. So Tamara, I will let you go next so you can let us know what you want to share today. Those of you who are tuning in, we are talking to the kids today. The Masterclass Marathon has been running for several months. We're here on Saturdays and Sundays. And what we do is we share information about our businesses. We're teaching you something that we know how to do so that you can use that information to either create a new business, build one, or you can actually connect with those who are on the screen to get their services. Some of you don't want to do the things that we do. You just want to hire someone to do it, but you don't know who to go to because that person hasn't shown up. And we show up here at the Masterclass Marathon, okay? All right. So Tamara, it's your turn. I'm going to give you 13 minutes on the clock to share your information. And meanwhile, you guys can be clicking around to give some follows. All right, Tamara, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me here, Tamika James. My name is Tamara Wells, and thank you, Jack the God. You're great. Awesome. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to talk about a subject that is very common to all of us. My name is Tamara Wells. I'm a certified natural health professional. I'm not a practitioner, so that means I'm not a doctor. So nothing that I say to you is diagnosing you. It's just sharing insightful information to help you be more aware of your body and its healing process, and that you can do it yourself. So this is all what I do. And what I do is I serve CEOs from a skin going deeper into gut health and wellness by targeting root causes from the inside out for healing the body's systems. So we're going to start today because my topic, I felt like, okay, when Tamika told me it was for kids, I thought to myself, you know, we eat a lot of sweets today. We're addicted to a lot of things. And now all of us have this palate that is conformed to sweet. And when I say sweet, I don't mean sugar cane sweet, like when we grew up where we sucked on sugar cane, chewed, and we knew what that really tasted like. Doesn't taste the same. Now it's white processed sugar, or something that's not really sugar, something like corn syrup, or something that is glucose oriented, something that will send your spike so high and then tank you so low so fast. Okay, so we're going to talk about sugar and spice. It's not always nice, and also it's unfriendly system ingredients. So we're going to talk about spicy stuff, sugar sweet stuff. What was them that when I grew up, sugar candies, we were addicted to. I'm not going to lie. We all loved sugar spice foods, sugar and spicy foods. We all loved sugar candy. We all had our favorites. Mine was Starburst. I'm guilty. Mine was Lemon Heads. I know y'all. I know this sounds familiar to some of y'all because these things are still in the movie theaters, and y'all will sit up in there and eat these things up and gulp them down to there's no more in the box, and then you ain't even halfway through the movie yet. Okay, so we're addicts. Okay, period, pure and simple. So we're gonna talk about Good and Plenty. We know Good and Plenty. Alexander grapes. I got them written all down here. Baked beans. And what about the spicy stuff back then? Fireballs. We couldn't keep them out of our mouths, but we couldn't take them out of our mouths, okay? Because it was like, if we take them out, we wimps. You can't handle the heat if you take it out too soon. Hot sausages, red hots, beefy Jimmy sticks, the hot pickles. Y'all remember the pickles? I used to like the dill pickles. The hot ones were doing for me. So today's sugar looks very different. You got Skittles, and not only are the sugars and the spices not healthy for us, even then they weren't, but now they have increased the banned ingredients that they put in them. So I'm going to tell y'all kids, this is a secret. I want you not to go away without knowing this statement. If I can't say it, I don't want to eat it. If you can't pronounce it, read the back of the bag. If you can't pronounce it, you don't need to eat it, okay? That means it's not good for you. It's not good for your system. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for any part of you, including your cell, down to the cell, down to your eyes. Do you know sugar can blind you? Most people don't know that. That's what causes glaucoma. Mucus develops, and it causes glaucoma. It blinds you. It puts a shield over your eyes so it glosses, and that's what glaucoma is, basically a glaze over the lens of your eye, which is filling in the back of the wells full of mucus so you can't see straight. And if you eat too much sugar, you end up with diabetes and glaucoma. Let's not get excited about that. It's not cool that you can't see, okay? So we're going to go over some of the ingredients that are in some of these products. Let's see if I can say them, because if I can't say them, and I think I'm pretty smart. If I can't say them, I know y'all can't say them. I'm going to start spelling stuff, and they just like, some of them are 6 letters. I mean, it's unbelievable. benzophenone. Okay? Does that sound sweet or does that sound spicy? It's turning me on about to spicy. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm turning me on to spicy. That's a spicy ingredient. That's not cool. I couldn't even say it. I don't want to eat it. And guess what that's in? Hot Cheetos, flaming hot. I know everybody know about them. Can I get a woo-woo? Okay. I'm not particularly crazy about them, but I heard they were addictive. All right. Ethyl acrylate. Acrylate. I think it's acrylate. That sounds like a sugar, but it sounds like it was created in a lab. And to me, honestly, it sounds more like it goes on a decomposed body. I don't know about you, but I don't want that in my body. It sounds like it goes on a carcass or something. You don't want to eat that. You can't say it, to walk away. Don't eat it. Okay, guys, let's look at what we put in our systems as happy food. If it not just makes you happy, it makes you joyous. Like you can look at something and feel, and I mean, before you eat it, you can taste it because you smell it. That's how the senses work. So you may be seeing your flaming Cheetos and your mouth watering. You know why your mouth watering? Because that trigger occurred. I had them before. I'm familiar. I'm addicted. This is how it makes me feel. I eat one and I keep eating them and eating them and eating them. But it's not the same as a joy feeling. When you're enjoy eating, you savor in your food. Even your snacks. I will take some sun chips and honey, I will chew every little bite of that sun chip and it's not salt, no salt. I will take a little bite and just savor in them like my God, this garlic is so good. It's so healthy. It makes me feel good. I'm eating it. And I know anything in here is not terrible, but I can repeat it and tell somebody, they say, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating sun chips. Doesn't that sound happy? So start eating happy food, okay? Eat happier food. That's what we're going to start with. Let's start eating happier food. So I'm going in the midst of all of this, I want to share with y'all that there's a drawing that I'm going to call for y'all. So all the kids are included. If you have an Instagram, you're going to love this. I want you all to participate in the drawing. And I want you to DM me at Tamara Wells _CNHP. DM me and say, I want to win. And you will be in the drawing to win a free 16-ounce organic happy food kombucha, as well as a tea blend that I proprietarily make, and it's a happy blend. I call it happy tea. Okay? So you get to win that. That's just to let you know. So stay tuned because you're going to be getting this information later. So let's go back to the Flaming Hot Cheetos. Guess what it does to your liver? Do you want to know? It eats the liver and causes cirrhosis. It's worse than the Juul e-cigarette. It's addictive like that, but it's where it puts holes in your liver. Who want bullet holes in it? I need my liver to filter when I'm going to tell you how the liver works. Let's say I have an M&M. It's a yellow M&M or blue M&M. I eat it. You know, when you eat all the dye off of it, it's going to turn chocolate, right? Then you get to the chocolate, but guess where all that dye goes? That your body's saying, ooh, yuck, I don't want you coming this way. You go over there to the liver. All the red dye 4-8, you go over there to the liver. It digests all, but the chocolate goes to the tummy, goes down to the gut, works through the system. And any part of that that's real chocolate, cocoa, if it's real, you'll break it down. It'll cause the enzymes to break down in your tummy. But that liver is going to take that dye and it's going to sit and filter in there like a tea bag seeps in the bleeds in the water. It's going to absorb it. And it's going to cause your liver to slow up because it's got to break down. Then it's going to leak into your pancreas, and your pancreas is going to say, oh no, I'm already full. And then your pancreas is going to say, I don't have no more room for this. So you're going to absorb it into your bloodstream. And they're going to say, I got to go somewhere, dye 48. And dye 48, not D-Y-E, D-I-E, going straight to the bloodstream. And it could kill you, guys. It's toxic. It's toxic. It's just like smelling a dead body or carcass. That can do something to you internally. That's what that dye is doing. The same thing. It's breaking, it's causing your fats, all of those things to be gaseous. Okay? So we don't want to dump all this crap into our body unless we know what it's made of. Nowadays, you can find out where you caught your last fish in the grocery store. They got apps for it. They got apps for everything. Our last representative just did that. She just said you can co-create an app. Co-create your own app to say what fats you don't want. It identifies all your food. That's just the tip. That's just one idea. Okay? Okay? But we want to look at our food and be serious about what we're eating. We don't want to keep consuming toxins. What the liver actually does is it takes blood that leaves the stomach and actually passes through the intestines, and it goes through the intestines, passes through the liver, and then the blood breaks down and it balances and creates the nutrients. So it's like bubble gut. It causes this creation and breaks down, and then it metabolizes. That's what metabolization is called. That breakdown and its extraction. Oh, I'm going to take the sugar and I'm going to go here. The brain needs me. Oh, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the starch and go here because that needs to convert to a little bit of energy. So it's smart. Your body is already smart. So listen to your body. Don't listen to your desires. Your desires will get the toxins increased in your body. So we want to be mindful of what we're consuming. The pancreas is another thing. It aids in all that digestion. So everything you eat, make sure you chew it, and chew it, and chew it 30 times if you have to, until it's liquid, because that liquid is going into your mouth and you're actually enjoying your food during that time. That's called enjoying your food. You ever ate something so good you just want to keep it in your mouth like, woo, this salad is so good. Woo, and then you're looking at the tomato again, but you haven't chewed this, and you just savoring. You just like, I want that yellow tomato. I'm tasting it already with my eyes. So this is what loving food to your loving body, what it does. So let's put nutrients in our bodies that actually serve us well, and know that your stomach will dump after a while. It dumps out. That's called pooping. That's what your stomach does. It breaks all that stuff. It's called pooping. So then you poop it out, okay? And what you poop out is called waste. You know why? Because your body didn't need it. And that dye, that 48 dye color, it's in that poop. Sometimes we see them little streaks. I know some of us don't want to look at our poop, but sometimes we got to look at our poop because we need to know what we ate. We need to know what we ate. You know what you ate when you go like this. So we need to know what we ate when we look at it. Okay, look at it sometime. You ain't got to do it all the time. Take a peek. If it don't look strange, you're good. Okay, make sure it floats a little bit. If it's not floating, you need to add a little fiber. Okay. Add a little fiber, and that's not Flaming Hot Cheetos. Okay? You can do popcorn. It's okay. Put the butter on it. You can cheat every now and then, get extra butter. That's what I do. I'm going to give you permission to do the extra butter because I do that. Okay? Watch a movie and chill out because your gut is 95, 98 degrees hydrochloric acid. Does anybody know what hydrochloric acid can do? Hydrochloric acid can burn a hole through steel. So your gut has got that kind of potential to break things down, and it's very smart. It's smart enough to know when it breaks it down, where it needs to go, where it needs to flow into the bloodstream. That's why teas are a positive thing, because it helps you get stronger in your blood and your brain gets smarter.
Wow.
So I'm Tamara Wells, and I just wanted to teach you a little bit. That's just a little bit about your body. And you got the same body, but your body functions different. So be smart about what you add to it. Remember, send me a DM and you can win to be in the drawing. You get a tea bag set and I make them. This is the garden.
Oh.
All herbs made by me.
Oh.
Thank you, Tamika.
Thank you, Tamara. So would you care to tell us, do you have anything else you'd like to tell us about where we can find you? And is there a special offer? Is that was your offer that we're going to
That is the offer.
Okay.
A drawing. Someone gets to win a kombucha, which a kombucha blend. I make them myself. They're all organic. I test them. They're non-alcoholic. They're all organic, and they're all system-oriented, so they taste great. So any of the strawberries, any of the blackberries, any of the cherries, everything out here, the pears, the lemons, the lime, that's what might be in it. That's how good it is. And somebody's going to get a free 16 ounce. and somebody's going to get a free 6 to 8 pack of tea blends that I blended. And it's a special.
Okay. Well,
So
guys.
you can reach me on Instagram. My IG handle is Tamara Wells, Tamara Wells, WELLS, all one word, _CNHP. That's me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for speaking. Tamara just, she just threw my M&Ms in the garbage. I'm glad I'm not eating hot Cheetos all the time, but I'm like going to look at my M&Ms like 5 times before making a purchase. I don't know if I still can purchase the M&Ms based on what she said, but at the end of the day, I love that you shared with us, you know, what we should and should not be eating, because a child was able to hear, especially the hot Cheetos, because that's one of those things that a lot of children actually do pick up. So thank you for sharing that information. And the more that we understand what it is that we should and should not eat, and exactly why, like you took us there, you know, you've made some type of impact. So even if it's just the Cheetos and they have to figure out the other things not to eat, at least we know that is one of the things. And the M&Ms and the dyes and stuff. Okay. All right. Well,
hey, I'm addicted to the M&Ms too.
Thank you. We need to, can we rinse the M&Ms off and then eat them? Nah, that's gonna be just nasty. That's gonna be disgusting. All right. Okay. I don't know.
You can weigh the odds. Just don't do too much of one thing, okay?
Right.
Know when to slow down. That's all.
Okay. How do I speak after she just destroyed my? Okay. I have to move locations because my phone is now dying. Okay, so let me get to the second location where my charger actually is located. Okay, maybe I should have turned my camera off while I was doing all of that. Okay, it just did it just now and didn't even know that was going to happen. All right, so, and my charger is over here. Guys, why does it always have to be me? That's the problem, child. Somebody tell me.
Well, my phone flipped face up. So, hey, it's live. At least we know that technology happened.
Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So I'm excited about being here this evening, again, as usual. So I'm Coach Tamika James. I help you to monetize your knowledge. And that means that I help you to take what you know and package it up and create it as a product, whether that's a course, or there are a lot of other things. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, exactly what kind of things that could be packaged up. So we're talking to the children today. So if you're here and you have not brought your children to the live, as we see Miss Camicia has one of her children right here on the live. Yes.
Yay!
So the children need to hear some of what we're talking about. So for me personally, I've been an entrepreneur since I was a teenager. I started out selling candy, like Amicia was telling her story. I sold candy. I've sold things that I could buy in the wholesale district once I got my sales tax and use ID number. I've just done all sorts of things as an entrepreneur to be able to create income so that I could do things I wanted to do. So even when I was like 12 years old, I started doing hair right after I turned 12. And I even started cutting people's hair. I was coloring people's hair, braiding. I did a lot of different things. And I want to share that back then when I began to do hair, it actually brought me joy. And I think someone said that, Camicia was saying that today, about doing something that you love. And when you do something that you love, it's easy to continue to do it. And I quickly learned that why me doing hair, it was exciting to me because I could see a smile on someone's face when I finished doing their hair, just the joy that it brought them, you know, what they look like after that. Also in the process of servicing the clients, even though I was doing hair in my mom's living room and also going to other people's houses and different things, it was a joy to be able to talk to people. So that was a part of me where I learned that I really enjoyed great conversations. So even though it took me a long time to figure out where all the joy was, but it was joy in a lot of different parts of what I did. So when you go back and you start to look at all of the things that bring you joy, you understand why you're doing the thing that you're doing and why you should continue. So to the children, there's something that you're doing that you get happy when you do it. there's something that you're doing that you don't really know that you can actually get paid for it. And I would love for you and your parent to sit down and begin to do a little research to begin to figure out what you could do in that space. So let's talk about some of the things. Tamara, do me a favor and mute, because it's like some background noise. So I'm piggybacking off of some of what Camisio was saying. And guys, please share this live out with at least 5 to 10 people so we can get the other parents and other children in. These messages are for both. So when it comes down to what you know and what you love to do, and you begin to research what it looks like, I was able to figure out that I could take this one little thing of doing hair in the house and began to create structure around it. And here is what I want you to know. You're looking at that little talent and you think that it's just a little talent. But when I tell you guys, I made enough money to get my very first car through me doing hair. So I was doing hair in the house, and I just began to realize that, okay, I'm making 30 or 40 bucks on each person. And then I began to take a deeper look at what else I could do. So I remember doing maybe doing some cornrows or something, and then I would do them smaller, and I was like, oh wait, it takes me a little longer to do this style. I cannot charge the same price. So here is what I want. Adults, children, whatever, nobody, don't take for granted that you're doing something that is of value, and that even if you take the beginning thing that you're doing and you begin to break that down and look at, there's more to this. There is a higher level to the first thing that I was doing, and begin to do your add-ons to be able to make more money. I remember getting to a point where people wanted color hair. So, okay, you don't have any color hair. I actually have some from the last client, but that's not your business. You should think that I bought it. So now you want a little piece of color. So your braids were $40. Now you want a little pop of color. That's going to be an additional $5 or $10. I don't want you to look at anything like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I can just throw everything inside the kitchen sink. So this is where I want you to begin to think. So now that we're talking about, what you can do and not literally taking your talents for granted, I want you to begin to think about how you add on top of that. So here was something else when I was a teenager. So I used to do hair in my house. So you come to me, I braid your hair, right? But then let me tell y'all, I ended up having teachers, because I started doing everybody's hair. I did the other students at the school, and people were like, well, who's braiding everybody's hair? So I began to do the teachers. But see, the teachers wanted me to come to their house. So now you want me to come to your house. Now they picked me up and, and I went to their house and sat in the living room, did their hair. But now that's a little extra, because you're taking me out of my regular environment. So now I can't charge you what I would charge you if I was staying in my basic environment and just servicing you right here. Teachers usually live way over there somewhere, right? They don't live in the same neighborhood generally. So you want me to listen, okay? So all I'm saying is, it's the same thing as you're a kid, you're doing something extra, you're an adult, you're doing something extra, you gotta tack on something. So please hear me when I say there are add-ons to everything that we do. And please, everyone, take what you do seriously. Take it seriously, because it's not a joke, okay? What I want everyone to begin to do is to look at everything once again as a real business. Anything that you touch can be, you can get money from, and you can actually start to research what other people are charging for it to see what it looks like. So just sharing a little bit more of my story. Tamara, you're still not muted. You're still not muted. So just to share a little bit more of my story. When I was a teenager, I shared a little bit of this yesterday. You don't have to, but it was just, okay, I don't know. So when I was a teenager and I was doing hair, I decided to follow everyone else. And there's a lot in my story, because I wanted to be like everybody else. Like everybody else has a job. So most of my friends were like at least 2 years older than me. I wasn't old enough to really get a job. But what I did was don't do this, kids, okay? I finagled my birth certificate to make it look like I was a little bit older, so that I could fill out the application and actually get the job. So I did finagle it. I did it very well, and I got the job. But I got a job at a supermarket bagging groceries. I thought they would give me something else, but they gave me this bagging job. So I was there for like close to 2 weeks. And by the time that I looked at everything that it took to get there, it took a 2-zone bus card. Okay. I didn't have a car. I was under a teenager. I had to go 2 zones on the bus there and back. That was a couple of hours in transit. Then when I got to work, I realized that I had to buy lunch, because either you bring lunch or you're going to buy lunch. So then I was buying lunch in the supermarket. And then I realized that I was spending whatever I was potentially making. So by the time I got my check and I looked at it and I compared it to me staying home and doing one person's head of hair, and I worked there for like almost 2 weeks, I was like, no way. So children, this was my journey. I realized very early on that I was, number one, following other people, trying to get the job. And then number two, I realized that it didn't equal out because I already had a talent. So what I'm saying is, if you have a talent, do not negate the fact that it's a real thing that you can get paid for. Some of you are able to do some internet stuff. Children, if you can do somebody's video editing for them, if you can post on their social media for them, if you can take their TikToks and their reels and do editing, if you can tell them, you know, an adult, what type of words to put on the screen, if you can tell them like how to do it the way that the algorithm is working, because y'all got some really smart brains and you understand the social media world, there is a space to get paid for content creation. So if you want to just go into that space, you can do just that. Find some adults around you and use your talents and just do the work for them for a couple of hours a week. You got everything you need right now to begin to make money. What I want to share when I started telling the story about me getting my car was that I started doing hair, like I said, around 12 years old. But I knew that when I got 16, I was able to get my, not my license, the permit. So as soon as I was able to get my permit, I went straight to go take the test and do all of the things. I got a car when I had a permit, okay? I didn't even have a full-fledged license. I saved up my money from sitting in the house doing hair to buy my first car. So if you're looking and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I begin to do things and have things that I want, it's up to you to make a goal for yourself. One goal could simply be that I want to get the car. And then you now have to, you know, make a designated goal, which is what will I save up so that I can get a car? In order to do that, you have to see how much cars actually cost. So it's like a whole plan. It's like a strategy that you have to figure out with everything that you're doing. Do not think that just because you're young and we're adults that we're the only ones that make plans. If you know you want the car. So for me, I don't remember the real numbers, but I don't know if this car, this is a long time ago, y'all, okay? Long time. But that car was probably around $1,500 or something like that. I don't even remember. You know, in money today, it might have been a couple of thousands of dollars. But I knew how much the car that I wanted potentially would go for, right? So I set that in my mind. And then I also did these other things too, that this is for adults as well as the children. I had a bank account very early on when I was a teenager, and you should have a bank account now as well. You should have a bank account, children, okay? So what I did was I did the Christmas Club. And the Christmas Club is this thing, and I don't know if they still do it in banks, where they basically say you put money into the bank every single week, and the money sits there and you cannot touch it until this particular month, which is normally October. So you could do this on your own at home in a box, or you can do it at the bank, but you basically keep dropping money into the account every single week because you have a goal of, I want to eventually have $1,500 in there. So if you have a desire to have anything, whether that is a special bag or, you know, some type of outfit or anything, set a goal for yourself. Use all of your skills and talents, because I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want without worrying about everybody else having to do things for you. Okay. So that was a little bit of my journey when I was a teenager. And I just wanted to share that because I'm telling you, sometimes your parents are not really able to do the things that you want them to do for you. And I don't want you to sit and feel like I can't go any further. You have a lot of talent that you can use. And to this day, what I help people with, mostly adults at this point, is monetizing your knowledge, taking what you know and utilizing it to be able to make money. So over the years, I've utilized all of my talents. I've utilized my talents to do hair. I've utilized my talents to teach and educate, which is still where I am at this point. When I entered hair school, I was actually like the person in the school. I knew a lot already, and I came there to get my paper, you know, I wanted to get my license, but I literally, that is funny. I know you didn't mean that, Jack. So I literally went to school to make sure I got my license. So I had the worldly knowledge already because I had been doing hair for so many years. So when I was there, I always helped people. But I realized that I was a true born teacher back then. So for me to recognize that, as I moved further along in my life and on my journey, I came right back to teaching. So I ended up having a salon by the time that I was like in my early 20s. And I had a salon because everywhere I went, and please hear me, with adults, children, everybody, I ended up being a salon owner because of the fact that when I was working in other people's establishments, the way that they ran their ship, the way they ran everything, I was looking at everything like, there's no way that this is not the type of environment that I envision. We all have to have vision for everything that we do. Whatever we want, you got to have some sort of a vision. Even if you have a 9-to-5 job, if there's not a vision of what you actually want to see, the environment you want to be in, you might need to leave and go to another same 9-to-5 with another company that has the vision of what you want. A 9-to-5 is not the worst thing in the world. Now, I never really had it, but everyone, we can have what we want and be what we want and do what we want if we just dream a little bit and decide on what we want in our day to day. So that's really my message today, to really take a look at who you really are, what you possess, use those qualities, do some research surrounding that, see what the value is, and see how you can take that, whether you're a kid or an adult, and turn that into a real business. That's all I've ever done my entire life. I've literally only worked for 2 companies in my entire life, and it was very short-lived. So that's my story, and that's what I wanted to share. My last 2 minutes, I will take just letting you guys know that I am Coach Tamika James. I'm a life and business coach, and I absolutely love helping those of you who want to take what you know, package it up, and create it as a product so that you can be able to make money in your sleep. The very first time that I was able, and I've shared this before, the very first time that I was able to understand the value in digital products and courses and different things was when I created a video, and I have over 200 digital videos literally currently, besides courses and everything. I was able to create a digital product, and I put it onto my digital platform, and I woke up and someone purchased it from Germany. And then I had to begin to learn how to, inside my PayPal account, to put the different countries, the different, whatever you call that, the different currencies inside of my PayPal account, because now people are purchasing from many different countries, and now the money has to convert inside of the account. So I began to take my account and understand where people are generally buying from. Like, there were a lot of people that started to buy from me from Canada. So I had to put the Canadian dollar in and let it convert inside the account so that it'll convert, and then it'll just come right in. So these are some other things that I actually teach inside of like the courses that I help you with. When I'm helping you to monetize your knowledge in a program like my Become a Coach program, I'm helping you with all of these things. These are things that you guys don't even know that you need to know. Like, if you're aiming to be more and do more and have more, you got to be prepared for the world. We are not here to just service someone that's around the corner from us. I've realized that a long time ago. I am international. And when I work with people, even one of my clients is a client that is in Canada right now. So you don't have to work with someone around the corner to be able to do what you do. The technology world is too big, and y'all better create these courses, because I'm telling you, you go to sleep, somebody clicks a button, they get the information that you have for them, and then they're able to carry on their journey, and they're literally able to do something because of what you just shared. So I'm excited about everything that I do. Connect with me, click the link in my bio, and you can follow me, and follow the other 2 that are down at the bottom as well. We all have great value for you. Today, we've been talking to the children. So if you watch this live and you feel like what you heard is something for your child's ears, which it definitely was, just when it's over, go back and watch the live again with one of your children. We're here. We're here to serve today. We understand that we are where we are, and we all actually have children, and we understand what it looks like to be the mothers of these children. You guys are mothers and fathers, and sometimes the message has to be heard from a different voice. Your voice is there every single day. You've been telling these kids these things that you need them to hear, and your voice is just kind of blending in. So we decided to come today on the Masterclass Marathon, sharing information about what we do and sharing with you and your children how it's applicable to them to be able to take who they are and turn it into something amazing. So please share this with your children. Another thing that you should know is that this Masterclass Marathon is placed on my podcast platform, Entrepreneurs Speak with Tamika James. So if you like watching on YouTube, we post them up there as well. So you can go and watch them there. Also here on this page, there is a series that you can watch. Click it and you'll be able to watch the series. So we've been here for several weeks. There's like 23 or 24 lessons of Masterclass Marathons that are posted in the series. So if you guys want to make sure that you're watching, you can definitely do that. So do any of you have any closing comments today about anything? Feel free to pop back in and say anything that you want to say about either your business or something that you want to say to the children or anything before we get ready to close out. You guys have the floor. Feel free. If there's anything.
I'll go ahead and add on how you just like how you said about you know, obviously you go ahead and you teach people how to monetize their knowledge, and I don't want any kid to take that for granted. I was doing a lot of the things I'm doing now as far as design work when I was younger. When I was 13, 14, in high school, I was in these programs, but nobody taught me how to utilize them to make money off of it. So I didn't start making money off of it until I was at least like 19, 20, somewhere in that age. So I missed 5 years of making money. I actually went and got a part-time job when I could have just been utilizing the knowledge I had in that time to actually make money, because I had a real skill at the time, even though and it's crazy because I actually did some work for my dad at some point, and it still never clicked that I could be doing work for other people. So don't let that go over your head. You really can utilize the knowledge that you have, the skill that you have, to make money at a young age and to just start becoming a person that you want to be in the future. And even if that's not what you end up doing forever, you might learn young that that's not the thing you want to do. And then guess what? You'll be able to switch your career early instead of learning it later on after you did 4 years in college or whatever route you decide to choose, because, you know, that's not necessary either. But you get what I'm saying. So I just wanted to add on to that. You definitely can monetize on your knowledge, and don't let that go over your head at all, no matter what age you are.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you say you also could find out what you don't want to do. So I love to share that when I was growing up, my mom worked at like Macy's, right? And I know that she worked with computers. Now, I didn't know that my mom did data entry. So I just know my mother works with computers. I want to work with computers, right? That's all I knew, because computers were the wave of the future. So it was that I wanted to either work with computers, or I wanted to do fashion designing, or I wanted to do hair. So I want to share with you, throughout the time, I was able to do all of them and be able to do what Jack was just saying about eliminating. So I ended up in this aftercare program, which they taught us how to sew. So they taught us how to actually sew with patterns and everything. So we cut out our stuff and we made outfits. So I made a lot of the clothes that I wore. I began to make clothes for other people. Y'all getting to learn a lot about Coach Tamika right now, because I've done a whole lot of things in my past. And I was at a point where I took this sewing class and I started to utilize my information that I learned. And I started making clothes for other people. Literally, y'all, I made my own prom dress, and I made prom dresses for other girls that went to my school. Whatever work that I could do, that I could take on, I actually did. But then let me tell y'all what happened. So I had a boyfriend at the time, and he had a friend, and his mom said, "Oh, you do make these clothes? Can you make me an outfit?" So I made her a suit, y'all. Now look, y'all know the suit, it got like buttons and like a real suit. I took on the job, but wait, the suit, I think the bottom, it was like a little tight. And when I made it too tight, I was done. I was like, I don't want to make clothes for people no more. I'm done. So it was over when I made that tight suit. But she was able to wear it, and I like found a way to like be able to like. I took on the job, but wait, the suit. I think the bottom was like a little tight. Yeah, it was the bottom was a little. Yeah, she got kicked out, but yeah, it was a little tight. And when I realized that I messed up on the suit, and it took so much work to do it, and I was like, I really love doing hair more. So I was like, forget that making them clothes. But here's the thing, I did actually love doing it. It was fun, but I was able to understand that it was just fun. It didn't bring me extra joy. It was just something I could do. And it was kind of like a challenge for me to make sure that I could make things and do things. But I was able to go through it to realize I don't want to be a fashion designer. I just don't. I thought I did. And then I went to school for the computers, and I was able to see what I wanted to do with that. I liked it, but I use a little bit of it now. And I really wanted to do hair. So I went through all of the things. So, just something to say to someone who needs to hear it. Try it all so you can eliminate something. Any closing words, Kamicia? No, you good?
Yeah, I'm just laughing because I think we've all done so many things to get to where we are. It's amazing. And that's the thing, like, a lot of us have many talents, right? Which gives you an advantage, right? Again, I like to have options. So if you're good at a lot of things, you will hear people tell you to only do one thing. I say do what you want. So if you like to do all of those things, do them, but you're going to have a plan in place so that you can make it work, right? You may have to do one at a time to get one going, then start another, but there's no reason why you can't do all of the things you're good at if you want to do them, and if you truly enjoy them, and if they truly bring you joy, right? So you don't have to pick one thing and only do that one thing. I hate people to tell you that, you can only do one thing. You can do whatever you want to do because I said it, and tell them I said it.
Yes.
So, I just want to encourage you in that. Like she's saying, try all of the things that you enjoy doing. And if you like more than one, then do more than one, right? Why not make money doing multiple things that you enjoy? Millionaires normally have multiple streams of income. So they don't just do one thing, right? They may be known for one thing, but they normally have more things that they do. So just remember that. That's all I have.
Yeah, and with that, doing more than one thing, long as you have structure with it, because the thing could happen. You might not be really doing all of the things with the thing. You might make it happen. So there's more. We definitely should come back and talk about that at another time. So what I want to share with you guys is that you have been watching the Masterclass Marathon. We're getting ready to close out. And so yes, we're closing out of the Masterclass Marathon. Let me see, Tamara. Just trying to come back in here. All right. So we are here every Saturday, guys, at 12 noon. And then we're here on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you give everybody that's on the screen a quick follow, because we're all here. We're in business, and we do something that you just might need. And we're always here to share information about something you need to know or something you didn't even know that you needed to know. So just make sure that you come back next week, and we'll see you. We'll be back to our regular program next week, where we're just sharing information about exactly what it is that we do. Like, we're doing a masterclass on how to do what we do. And we're giving you information, and also might be a motivational segment as well. But we're sharing. So for next Saturday, what's on the schedule? So it depends on who actually is signing up. So how do you get in here? If you are capable of speaking on the Masterclass Marathon, and you can do a 13-minute segment, you can go to masterclassmarathon.com. And it's also in the link in my bio, so that you can register to be able to speak. What we're doing here, just so you guys know a little bit more about it, we're creating exposure for all of us. Masterclassmarathon.com. And what happens is, when we share our audiences, there are several people funneling through. And it really doesn't even matter how many people you see at the number at the top. It's not true, because people are coming in and they're going. Sometimes a person's phone rings and they're listening, and then they go answer the phone and they come back. So it's steadily funneling through. So there are lots of people that come through here. So we're creating exposure for ourselves, but we're literally really sharing what we know with the rest of the world. So that's what we come here to do. This segment this week was dedicated to the children. We all have children, and we know that they are the future. So we wanted to share our messages and ask you to bring your children to the live. So ask them to watch the one from yesterday as well as the one from today. But when we come back next week, we're back to regular schedule where we're sharing information with you. So now also, if you feel like you're not ready to speak, I actually did a challenge which was helping you to teach and speak to be able to speak on a Masterclass Marathon. So DM me if you want information about that. And I will say this because Camicia was just talking about your creating like your course and just recording different things. She was telling you about get with your child for a summer project and record whatever they know how to do. And then you can create that into a course. The same situation of recording whatever you know is the same thing that I've done when I did the challenge last week, teaching you how to teach and speak. It's recorded. Guys, everything you record, you can take that info, gather it up, package it up, and you can sell it later. Mm-hmm. Whether you call that a course, whether you call it the replay to the challenge, whether you sell one day at a time and sell them all separately, once you record something, you're literally able to resell the thing. So do what Camicia said and get with your children and help them to create something, or do it for yourself. Whatever you do, do something, okay? And I'll close out on that. So let's get this money, y'all. Let's get this money. We got special lives to live. Nobody is supposed to be poor. Nobody's supposed to be in a situation where you don't have anything. You all have too many talents. You have ears, you have eyes that can see, and you have a mouth that can speak. Listen, observe, and then use your mouth and use the rest of your body to literally grow yourself a business. That's it. I'm out of here. We're all out of here. See you guys next week. And thank you all for speaking today. You guys are the best. All right.
Bye.